Clara Bennett. From Mockery to Empowerment. My name is Clara Bennett, and I am 32 years old. If I had to pinpoint the exact moment my family stopped pretending we were normal, it happened under an old oak tree, beside a weathered picnic table scarred with years of lemonade rings and forced smiles. That year's family picnic began exactly like every other. A carefully staged performance designed to look perfect. My younger sister, Sophie, arrived late as usual, radiant in designer clothes, carrying a metallic cooler that gleamed like a trophy. She had borrowed her boyfriend Ryan's SUV to haul it, flaunting her life as if it were a limited edition. She placed it next to a hand-woven basket and a monogrammed blanket, all screaming for Instagram attention. I, by contrast, set down a plain grocery bag containing 2 cans of flat soda and a few snack packs. No embellishments, no pretense. The truth, unvarnished, didn't need decoration. My mother waved me over with that rehearsed, half-hearted gesture she reserves for appearances. My father barely glanced up, a nod that whispered, "I see you, but don't expect actual concern." This was our family dynamic, polished facades masking emptiness, love at arm's length, like a delicate ornament meant only to be observed. 2 hours passed in a blur of stale jokes and backhanded remarks, comments about my simple clothes, my neutral smile, and how some people eventually grow out of their drama. My mother laughed mechanically. My father chuckled at lines he hadn't bothered to process. This was the arrangement we had silently agreed upon. They mock, I ignore. Peace remains fragile. Then Sophie decided to make a toast. She lifted a delicate, engraved glass, tapped it lightly with a diamond ring, and commanded attention. "To the one," she said, smiling directly at me, "who always arrives broke, frustrated, and yet somehow insists on being seen as important." The laughter that followed wasn't joyous. It was cruel, collective, a chorus of approval for Mockery. I lifted my flimsy plastic cup of flat soda, holding it like her crystal glass, creating one small moment of equality. I could have swallowed the insult, turned away, pretended it didn't matter, but I didn't. "To the desperate one who just canceled the rent payment, keeping your apartment," I said, voice calm but sharp. Silence fell like a heavy curtain. Somewhere beyond the trees, a child cried. Sophie's carefully practiced smile wavered. My mother's eyes flicked toward my father, searching for reassurance. My father stared at his drink, as if the answer to this new version of me could be found at the bottom of his glass. I didn't repeat myself. I finished the soda, placed the cup down, and felt a cold surgical clarity settle inside me. "I'll be leaving," I said. Not a single person tried to stop me. 8 days later, my phone buzzed. A text from Sophie. "Rent. Can you send the usual $250? I let it linger. I went for a walk, bought a sandwich, and read a few chapters of a second-hand book. The sun warmed my shoulders in a way my family's approval never had. Hours later, I replied with a single word. "No." She called immediately. I let it ring. Another text. "Clara, what do you mean no? You can't just stop. I'm behind. Ryan's looking for work." I typed deliberately. "Move in with mom and dad. They have room." She called it vindictive, a favorite word for consequences she never considered. My mother left me a voicemail, her voice quivering in false reason. "We're family. We help each other. You're overreacting." I replied, "Then help her yourself. Don't ask me to fund people who treat me like garbage." An hour later, my father called. "So, you're really cutting her off?" "Yes, and you should check the mortgage too. I won't be covering it anymore." His laugh was incredulous. "You don't mean that." "I meant it the day under the oak tree. You just weren't listening." He hung up. A week later, I discovered I had been automatically paying $3,100 every month toward their mortgage for the past 3 months, without a thank you, without acknowledgement. When I canceled the auto transfer, the click sounded like liberation. The consequences hit immediately. Pre-foreclosure notices arrived. Suddenly, the family narrative flipped. Clara ruined everything. She's cruel. For months I had been invisible. Now, I was the villain. My mother invited me to dinner. Not about money, just talk. I went to witness the truth. After small talk, I placed my hands on the table. "You mocked me. You laughed while I supported you. You never asked how I was. You assumed I'd keep bleeding," I said, voice steady. "You don't understand. Family helps." My father started. "Exactly. I helped. You mistook that for obligation." I stood. "1 month from now, picnic. We'll see if I help again." On the day of the picnic, I parked to watch them arrive. This time, I brought a small wooden table, bottled water, simple sandwiches, and neatly organized folders. Where's the rest? My mother asked. No decorations, Sophie complained. I slid the folders to them. Inside, job listings, application tips, contacts, tools to rescue themselves. This is humiliating, Sophie scoffed. You asked for help. This is help, I said. Silence, volcanic, heavy. You think this is funny, she shouted. You mocked me when I struggled. You laughed while I paid your rent. Now, you can laugh through a job interview. Helping isn't rescuing, it's empowering. Days later, I got a notification. Sophie started orientation for a new job. A week later, my father asked about openings. He thanked me, no sarcasm. My mother sent an anonymous photo of her prep schedule, circled initials, silent acknowledgement. A month later, another picnic. No money, no lectures, just truth. They came, my father in a t-shirt, my mother without jewelry, Sophie in scrubs. I said, I'm not paying bills anymore. Love isn't measured in wire transfers. Earning more doesn't mean I owe more. They listened. They understood. Fragile sunlight through leaves. I told my boyfriend Evan, I don't want to be the fixer anymore. Then don't. Just let someone stand next to you, he said. 6 months later, life was balanced. No urgent calls, no invisible debts, just peace. Freedom isn't loud, it's quiet. It's claiming your life without asking permission.